please.
Rodney G.
Here.
Doris Graham.
Here.
Craig Larson.
Here.
Mary Lupke.
Here.
Kevin M. Martin.
Here.
And Marshall.
Here. Thank you so much. On behalf,
Here.
Doris Graham.
Here.
Craig Larson.
Here.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I welcome those joining us virtually this evening. As there are no citizens desiring to address the board at this time, I shall move on. Are there any amendments to the agenda? All right, seeing none, I shall move on. We have a motion. Oh, I'm so sorry. Recommended approval for the June 24th, June 30th, and July 27th board meeting minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
Andy, we need to make sure we go back and approve the agenda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Yes, we do. Let's go there. Are there any amendments to the agenda? No. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So
I
moved.
move for the approval.
All right.
Second.
Rodney, and then Graham seconded. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you, Jessica. All right, acceptance of minutes. The recommended approval for the June 24th, June 30th, and July 27th board meeting minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
So move.
Second.
All right. We have a motion by Graham, seconded by G, to approve the June 24th, June 30th, and July 27th minutes as presented. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Next, we have the approval of the executive session resolution. Is there a motion, Dr. Martin?
I move that we have executive session on September 23rd, 2021 at 5 p.m. in pursuant of 610.021, legal 610.0211, real estate 610.0212, personnel firing and promotion 610.0213, negotiations and union employee group 610.0219, performance identifiable record 610.02113, law 610.02114 under in accordance with 610.020 RSMO.
Thank you. Is there, do we have a motion?
A second, just a second.
Oh, do we? Yes, the second.
Second.
So do we have somebody seconding? Who is seconding?
I do.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Rodney. All right. So sorry. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call vote, please.
G.
Yes.
Graham.
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Lupke.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Marshall.
Yes. All right, motion passes. Thank you. Next, we have the recognition of students and staff accomplishments. I'll hand it over to Nez Savala. Nez will present.
Hello. Give
Hello,
me just a
Nez.
second to share my screen and I'll be with you in a moment. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Good evening, Chair Marshall, Chancellor Pittman, trustees, students, faculty, staff, and guests. I'm Nez Savala, Communications Manager. I am in the office. I'm not in an enclosed space, so I am wearing a mask. So I'll try and speak up just a little bit. Tonight, we recognize two faculty members, one for achievement in her field and another for leadership in the community. Robin Barrett, accounting professor, Stlcc Merrimack, was selected as a recipient of the American Accounting Association J. Michael and Mary Ann Cook Deloitte Foundation Prize. The award recognizes superior teachers in the discipline of accounting. She was selected as one of 3 winners and earned a $27,500 prize in the 2-year college educator category. The AAA is the largest community of accountants in academia, with a history built on leading edge research and publications and a vision to be thought leaders in accounting. Their mission is to further accounting through education, research, and service. Congratulations to Ms. Barrett for bringing new ideas into accounting education at Stlcc and putting the program in the national spotlight. Mariah Richardson is an adjunct faculty member in mass communications at Stlcc Forest Park. Ms. Richardson joins the latest class of Focus St. Louis's Leadership St. Louis, a prestigious by invitation only program. The immersive 9-month curriculum delves into topics such as economic development, racial equity, education, criminal justice, poverty, immigration, and arts and culture. Leadership St. Louis allows established and emerging leaders from throughout the area to have their perspectives challenged, hear new voices, and promote discussion and action. This year's class of 73 participants come from some of the area's largest corporations, leading law firms, nonprofit organizations, and several educational institutions, among many others. She was chosen because of her work as a playwright and connection to the arts and culture community. Congratulations, Ms. Richardson, for using this platform to advocate for the underserved populations in the St. Louis region. This concludes tonight's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Zavala. Congratulations to all the awardees. We are lucky indeed to have such incredible talent on our campuses.
You're here to that.
Yeah, definitely. Next is the quarterly finance report. Mark Swader, please.
I think while Mark is joining us, trustees, I'll just remind you, these are our June 30th financials, and it's all before the audit. We're going through that audit process right now. So it's unaudited and unadjusted, but comparable to the same report that you got last year at this time, and Mark will explain that. So there he is. Good to see Mark here with us.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Appreciate the opportunity to talk to you tonight. And welcome to the trustees and Dr. Pittman and all the other people who are joining the meeting tonight. Under your finance tab in your board documents, you'll see the quarterly financial reports, which actually is for the year as of June 30th, 2021. This report, as Paul indicated, is unaudited. We're in the process right now. The auditors are in place doing their audit of our books. We make a significant number of entries at the end of the year. A lot of them don't relate necessarily to budget items. They relate more to pensions and what we call OPEB liabilities and those types of things. So later on, say in October, hopefully, we're planning on presenting the financial statements for the year that are audited. So I need to share my screen. Hang on a second here. If I can share screen. Let's do this. Can you see that screen?
Good.
Yes.
Okay. The first slide represents the general operating fund. And again, these are more of an issue of our expenditures as it relates to the pre-approved budget by the board. So there will be entries that are made. There are differences between years because June 30th of 2020, in this slide, you can see some of the numbers are higher, for example, on the expenses and transfers. Those numbers are pulled from the books now, which means that all the audit entries and everything for June 30th of 20 are included in these numbers. So there will be some adjustments to the June 30th, 2021 numbers. The next slide is the general operating fund revenue, and it gives a breakdown. You'll notice that property taxes is the largest single item. It shows that it's down roughly $2.5 million for 21. However, I looked at it earlier before we came in, and with some audit adjustments, we're up to about $68 million. This is in comparison to a budget of around $65 million. So we're actually positive toward budget. And FY20 included some catch up that we had. The economy was good and people were paying more property taxes, buying cars, that type of thing. You'll notice that the state aid, which is the orange section, has gone up. FY20 was an anomaly with COVID, and the state had withheld some funds. Tuition is down related to our enrollment for the year. And the one item, the other revenue, the 11,203,926, that number includes $7.3 million in stimulus money. So that's what's driving that number. I decided to throw this in. We threw it in last time for you to see. This is where we stand on Carissa Act funding and expenditures. And you'll notice that on the far right-hand column, the remaining balance is approximately $50 million, of which 30 million is approximately student grants under Carissa, and then the American Recovery Plan of 17 million. The remaining is institutional dollars that we're going to attempt to claim all of. The expiration date, as you can see, is generally May of 22. So as soon as the auditors leave and we start to get that process done, we'll be doing more as it relates to those funds, as it relates to lost revenue and the things that are allowed under the grant programs. General operating fund salaries and wages, you'll see that they're down roughly $3 million from last year. Benefits are down. Again, though, the $35.8 million for 20 would include some of the pension adjustments that we're in the process of making now for FY21. So the number for 21 will be adjusted. I decided to give you an update on the VSIP only because if you look on the right-hand slide at the bottom, it says paid July 23rd. We did pay $542,000 approximately on July 23rd for those VSIP employees that accepted the VSIP as of June 30th. The red will be the $287,000 will be paid in early September or earlier. Utilities, you'll notice that electricity is significantly down. This is related to the use of our facilities. Water is still up, not so much against 19, but against 20. We did have that the two water issues. One was a leak out at Wildwood that was leaking into the storm sewer drains, and then also we had a pop-off valve on a water heater that was drained into a floor drain and was not noticed. I've been told by facilities that they have attached a sensor so that they would know that that's happening again. Gas is up slightly, most as it relates to FY20, but significantly down from FY19. Other funds that we have in the package are technology fund and technology fee fund. And you'll notice that the expenses and transfers, as I think I pointed out in the March meeting, we had anticipated reducing the fund balance of the technology fee by $1.8 million. And so from our standpoint, the numbers are pretty close, except for the revenue, which is lower because of lower enrollment. College and student activities, that increase in fund balance is primarily related to the fact that the clubs are not operating on campus like they have in previous years because of COVID. That was down approximately $90,000 for the fiscal year. Public safety, pedestrian traffic access. Again, it was a situation where we made a conscious effort in the budget to reduce the fund balance. And that's really the significant, the net, it's a decrease in fund balance of 374. Other funds that you have in your package are the rental of facilities, student aid, restricted auxiliary agency, self-insurance, and capital funds. And then on the balance sheet, as we pointed out the last meeting, we have collected funds related to the new student services fee. Starting in the September package, you'll see a statement of changes in fund balance for that against budgeted amounts. These were collected as of June 30th, and the fee, the use of the fee had not been set yet, at least from an accounting standpoint. I wanted to throw in a slide regarding our bonds and certificates of participation. The bonds here, series 16, 14, and 12, all are callable as of April 1st of 2022. The 16 and 12 bonds are callable now. It's important from the standpoint of if we decide at some point in time to issue additional debt, the series 16, 14, and 12 bonds would be ones that would be we might want to refinance or just pay off. And that's the extent of the report. I will accept and take any questions if you have any.
Hey, Mark, this is Rod. This may have been answered in a previous meeting, so I apologize if it's repetitive. Have we considered or have we thought about a refunding of student fees in 2020? Because we did not have our students on campus, nor were there many activities. Can you speak to that?
I think I'll let Paul speak to that because he would be involved a little bit more than I would on that.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for the question, Trustee G. That was one thing. It came up with some discussions. I don't think it really ever moved forward. We certainly would have used the student fees in 2020, in that fall 19 semester, and students were on campus up until about the spring break time frame in the spring. And so I think our determination at that time was to move forward without doing so.
Okay, thank you.
Mark, I'll just say, again, I appreciate us finding water and other utility issues and pointing that out. And I'll just say for the other trustees, I do know that Annie and I have talked about having, and we will be having a workshop at the September meeting, specifically talking about financing with Prop R and what does that look like. And so to your last slide, Mark, that you pointed out about bonds, that will be one of the main conversations as trustees, looking at what is the best fiscal sense for us for our debt we have. So I appreciate you pointing that out, and I look forward to our conversation in September to find out more in depth about our finances and where we're at and what are our options with Prop R and all of those things. So thank you for that, and thank you for your report.
One quick point on that, Dr. Martin. Our investment returns are really low, and so a way to achieve an investment return is to pay off bonds and save interest versus versus getting interest income. So that will come into play in your meeting, I'm sure.
Any other discussion? All right, seeing none. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate your time and the lovely report. Thank you. All right, next is the biennial reaffirmation of the college's policy on financial disclosure. Do we have a motion?
So moved as presented.
Thank you,
Second.
Dr. Martin. Thank you for seconding.
Second. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Graham.
Doors. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you so much. Next is the the 2022 board meeting schedule. Do we have a motion?
So move to approve the 2022 Board of Trustees meeting schedule as presented.
Thank you. Second?
Second,
Thank you, Mr. G. Any discussion?
I'll just point out, just for the trustees, the June 28th meeting is a week later due to the state community colleges gathering, and we moved it to a Tuesday because otherwise it would have been the day before a holiday weekend, and we just didn't want folks, particularly college employees or others. So we thought by moving it to a Tuesday would still give folks at least a 5-day or 4-day weekend without having to be late on a Thursday.
Thanks, Kevin. That was going to be my question. I appreciate it.
That's great. Very thoughtful. Very thoughtful. Terrific. Okay, thank you so much. I will mark my calendar. Excuse me. All right.
Any of the
Okay.
board needs to vote. We did the
I'm
motions,
so
but not
sorry.
the vote.
Yes. So, all those in favor?
aye,
Aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, seeing none, motion passes. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, next is the approval of scheduling the tax rate public hearing. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we have a meeting concerning scheduling of the tax rate public hearing.
Thank you. Any
Second.
Second by Martin, thank you. Is there any discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you so much. Next is the approval of additional nominees to the Stlcc Redistricting Committee. Do we have a motion?
so moved.
Thank you. Rodney? Second? I
Second, Doris Graham.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we have, in our packets, we have a number of people here. We have a motion by, was that by Martin?
I think it was by G and
Oh,
Graham.
I'm so sorry. Motion by G and seconded by Graham to approve the recommendation of John Bowman and Cheryl Brown to the Coordinating Board for Higher Education for appointment to the Stlcc College Redistricting Committee. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you so much. Great people, amazing people. Okay, next is the certification of the August 3rd, 2021 election results. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Should we read the whole resolution?
I think we should.
Okay.
Read those. Read.
So it is recommended the Board of Trustees approve the following resolution. Proposition R. Whereas the Board of Trustees of St. Louis Community College of St. Louis County, Missouri, has received the Board of Election Commissioners of the St. Louis County, Missouri, the St. Louis County Board of Elections, Franklin County, and Jefferson County certification of results of the election of Proposition R, said election having been held on Tuesday, August 3rd, 2021. And whereas the board, on the basis of said certification, has jointly tabulated the results, which are as follows. Proposition R had a total of yes votes of 41,496, total no votes of 30,017. Whereas it appears that the official certification and from the tabulation results that Proposition R has received the greatest number of yes votes. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees does hereby declare and certify that Proposition R has passed.
Thank you. All right, do we have a motion? We have a motion by,
Doris made the
Doris.
motion. I just read it.
okay,
Thank you.
by Doris, and it was to approve the resolution certifying the August 3rd, 2021 election results. Yes.
Second, and thank you to all of you who did so much work.
All right. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
I proudly.
Awesome.
I have a couple comments that I don't know that they have to be a discussion, but I can't think that it would be anything but appropriate to thank our voters. I mean, this doesn't happen without our voters. And, you know, it was a very low attended election, but we worked to get the word out, and, you know, the results are as they are. I mean, very positive. We got 70% in the city. It's amazing, you know, really amazing. They love the community college.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's a very good time for us as a college to, you know, kind of ride this positive wave and push on, you know, getting more people in our community to think about how to use this. I mean, that we're a great resource to them, an affordable resource. Now we'll be, you know, even more focused as we raise the numbers of nursing seats and other programs that will lead right into good paying jobs. So my second comment is, and maybe this is already being done, and I've kind of taken a 10-day hiatus here of not doing much of anything. And that would be that we literally thank the voters with some billboards, some appropriate ways to say thank you very much. And probably highlight in that, not just thank you, but here's what's going to happen. You know, so that people immediately know that the impact of that election is going to be A, B, and C, and it's going to be more than that, but be as clear as we can. I think the college can do that, and it is the intent of the Invest in Stlcc committee. When we get all of our funds resolved, we will end up donating to the foundation. But we've had a discussion among the leaders to say we'd like to put up something too, so we're willing to help with the college around that.
Wonderful.
But it's a wonderful opportunity to say to our voters, thank you very much. I mean, think about it. We've only gone out twice since 1984.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was 37 years ago. So this is huge. This is
It
really,
really is.
incredible. Incredible.
So I guess a third comment, and it might tie into what we've already been discussing in other contexts, is we need to be so careful. What I think Kevin said was, you know, we're going to have a workshop. We need to be really transparent about how we're going to spend the money, what that's going to look like, because having gotten this vote of confidence from the voters, now we need to earn it and really make the difference that we're going to make, and make that as clear to everybody as we possibly can, which will only make the college look better in his eyes. So it's a win-win, but we as trustees just need to make sure we follow up on that issue. Frankly, we don't have to do a lot of the work. We got Paul salivating over there to run the whole process of, you know, thinking about what to do and bringing us good suggestions, and, you know, how long is it going to take to build the nursing seats we need, what are our other programs that we want to eliminate the wait list. We can ask those questions. They can do the work, but we do need as trustees to make sure we're transparent. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Doris?
Yes, Madam President, I just want to say to all the board members and to our chancellor and to Paul, who will be just really involved, that during this campaign, I love the way it was kind of like low key and it didn't become a very political kind of thing. People who were nice to me saying that, well, you know, we'll support this proposition, but what you're going to do? And I was glad that we had like elevator statements that we could say, and, you know, people very quickly accepted. And also, I want to tell Dr. Pittman, he's on mute, but would somebody tell him to tell Kedra that when I started talking about the community college, I got several phone calls from city people telling me, oh, I like that commercial about the attending the St. Louis Community College. I said, girl, it's been on for a long time. She said, but I just started paying attention when I started hearing about Proposition R. So I want to just send that on to Kedra, whoever did it, tell them to keep up the good work.
Will do, Dr. Graham.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's just so exciting. And thank you to all the voters. Thank you so much. All right. I could talk about this all day, how excited we are, but we must move on. So approval of consent agenda items. Is there a motion for approval of the consent agenda items?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Kevin.
All right, thank you. We have a motion by Martin, second by G, to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion or pulling off of the consent agenda? All right, seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, motion passes. All right, next up, we have the Chancellor's report. Dr. Pittman?
All right, let me see if I can't get to my PowerPoint. And do you see the full screen
Yes.
Yeah.
of the PowerPoint? Okay, not the presenter view. Sometimes my monitors switch back and forth. Well, good evening, trustees. Yeah, we're certainly all very, very equally excited within the college about Prop R passing and have been planning already in regards to the things that we need to do. I keep telling the staff, we really, really worked hard to get to work this hard. This has been a great compilation of effort between all of you, all the trustees, and we want to congratulate you for your good work over the years. Certainly the campaign committee and the staff over the last several years. So we're really excited about that. Just had a few items for you this evening. I want to begin by talking about fall semester. Classes do begin on Monday. So we've been scurrying around trying to get ready for that in the midst of all the activity around Prop R. And we do plan to move forward with our fall schedule as it's planned. In other words, we have a lot more in-person, face-to-face classes this semester than we did a year ago and in the spring semester and this past summer. And we have set in place a mask mandate and plan to continue to move forward with our safety protocols, but to get as many students back on the campus as we can. I know several of the trustees and I have had conversations about this, and it's very important that we do that and get them re-engaged with the college in person as much as we can. Currently enrollment, we're basically even, and we will begin dual credit, dual enrollment registration on Monday. We're hopeful we'll see more dual credit, dual enrollment this fall than last fall. I mean, obviously, there's going to be limitations, perhaps to some degree by COVID, but hopefully not near as much as there was last year. We also put into play the new vaccination incentive and reward program that will go into place. I was actually on channel 4 and 5 right prior to the board meeting beginning tonight to talk about this incentive program. I think it's wonderful. We want to do whatever we can to incentivize faculty, staff, and students to get vaccinated. I really appreciate the trustees' support on this. I've talked to several of you about this, and it's going to be a win-win, I believe, and it's the right move to make. I think it's a good way to spend federal relief funds just to encourage as many people as we can to get vaccinated. It would be our hope that we would get the employees up over 80% vaccinated and move the students to a much higher level than they are now. Just quickly, I keep going back to Dr. Christine Davis and asking about our Black Male Achiever Academy. We had that over the summer. This was really the pilot group. This class that you see here is the group from Forest Park. We had 40 students enrolled in total at Forest Park and Flow Valley, and I'm proud to say that 39 have completed and they're enrolled in the fall semester, and we will continue to do intrusive advising with this group to get them to the finish line to meet their educational objective. So many thanks to Dr. Davis and all other faculty and staff that were involved in really a collaborative effort to do as much as they can to assist in orienting these young men to college life and assisting them to prepare and go through their educational journey at St. Louis Community College. Well, as we've just been talking about, Prop R was approved on August 3rd, 2021, and we're busy hustling around right now, laying the groundwork for planning. We have a workshop planned for you during the September meeting. And again, I can't thank enough the individuals that worked on the campaign committee. It was very organized, very well done. We had terrific leadership. I'm just amazed by Dr. Mark Wrighton and Dr. Candace Carter Oliver and the work they did and how available they made themselves. I mean, they never refused once a media interview or questions that were asked or the opportunity to meet with a group. So we're fortunate to have leaders like this in the community that stepped forward and gave all that time to assist the college. Appreciate Peg Mooney and her great work as the treasurer of this effort, and certainly Dr. Larson and Paula Savarino. They did a great job as deputy chairs. Craig, I think that's what we had. I think that was your title. And they were really kind of the force behind the scenes and making a lot of this happen. So, here at the college, the staff, the faculty, and students really appreciate all their hard work. And again, I mean, just really kind of reiterating what the ballot language said, we're just wanting to rebuild the local economy, the situation resulting from the pandemic by updating career training programs. And we led with what we believe are the highest need in healthcare, information technology, financial services, biotechnology, and manufacturing. But we know there's going to be other programs that are high need as well going forward and currently at this time. So this just presents a wonderful opportunity to transform St. Louis Community College. So in September, as you just approved, you'll have a public hearing to set the tax rate. If the board decides to approve the full amount, which I believe is around 28 cents per $100 of appraised value, that could allow up to $350 million in bonding authority to modernize these campuses into 21st century environments. That's particularly with our 3 legacy campuses, and certainly the opportunity to expand what we're already doing at Wildwood. And I can say, just over the last couple of weeks, being back out in the business community and working with other higher ed leaders, they're excited about it. I mean, the fact that you had SLU and WashU come up and contribute to this campaign, and all the efforts and all the calls I got from my colleagues across St. Louis, there's just a lot of excitement about St. Louis Community College and what we can do to partner with these institutions going forward with this effort as well. Well, initial planning, I think I mentioned, I'm putting together a Chancellor Advisory Committee, primarily composed of CEOs of a lot of these high need companies. And they're all coming on board, and I'm looking forward to meeting with them over time to get their input to make sure we're validating all the data that we see from the State of the St. Louis Workforce Report this year and where the needs actually are. Dr. Davis is working on establishing a student and graduate focus group, graduates of St. Louis Community College, to get their input on what their experience was like here in the past and what needs they think the college may need to improve on. Currently, we're establishing internal stakeholder groups by campus, and we're following really along the lines of the guided pathways model, where we're combining all these different departments and trying to de-silo things in the college. We work together collectively. These groups will work with an architect of record as we continue to push through. And then again, there's that word, we want to put emphasis on transformation of how we just continue to be more relevant and helpful in assisting the workforce needs of St. Louis City and County. So for the September workshop that I mentioned, we would like to present to you for consideration high-level recommendations of the overall utilization of Prop R funds, an overview of the work that has to occur in bonding, and plans to use the funds that will arrive this year, because you'll be receiving funds this year that you'll need to think about and distribute. So we'll be presenting information about that and try to be as organized as we can for you to assist you in leading and working through that discussion. Well, coming soon, I like the idea that Dr. Larson had that we do some external outreach to thank the voters. And we plan internally to establish a web page that will present the planning and work over time. We'll be putting forth just really all kinds of communications from marketing and communications regarding the progress of this effort. Ketter and I, we believe we have enough information here to do a campaign on its own, a mini campaign for both internal and external stakeholders about what this is all about. And then, this coming year is our 60th anniversary. So what better? I mean, you folks did a great job in planning this out. I don't know if you thought about the 60th anniversary, but I don't know if you realize how perfect this is, that we have our 60th anniversary right on the heels of Prop R being approved. So this is a great story to tell the St. Louis community and all the faculty and staff and students. Well, again, thank you, Madam Chair and all the trustees for your great work with Prop R and with everything else that you do. End of the day, the students, employers, and community are the winners. So we all thank you. And that, Madam Chair, concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pittman. Thank you. We're so excited. Are there any citizens desiring to address the board regarding other concerns?
There are not.
There were none. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Now it's time for board member comments. Would anybody like to start?
Sure. I just wanted to share with Dr. Pittman what a wonderful job on the Workforce 2021 report. The attendance was over 800, I understand. But I thought the format, the report, how it was laid out was just phenomenal. Really, I thought it was our best program ever. So my hats off to you and the team that went into planning that effort.
Thanks, Trustee G. The panelists were wonderful, weren't they?
Yeah, they were.
We had a
They
terrific
were.
panel this year.
And I would hope we could keep it in that format going forward. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a free meal, but I actually thought that being on PBS and Channel 9, it was just great.
Well, I mean, for me, who have experienced both the in-person and the streaming version, I really like being at Channel 9 as well and how they manage that. I think there's no way we could put 800 people in any of our auditoriums at any one time. And the audience was really engaged. We got a lot of questions. They were chatting the whole time amongst themselves. So it does seem like an effective way forward. And you got to keep in mind, we were planning to do this in person until the Delta variant came along and we switched gears, and 9 PBS stepped up to help us immediately. So yeah, I think that's very worthy of consideration going forward. I really enjoyed it, just the whole experience being at their studios. Their studios are just terrific and make this happen. They can make it happen.
My other comment, and again, this ties into Prop R. I want to thank Dr. Pittman for his quick response. And I know Trustee Ross isn't here, but we had a great opportunity to influence one of our state representatives who got a chance to come over to the campus and go through our new Allied Health building and was just blown away. So I think beyond getting Prop R passed, we made a lot of friends in the community. So I just think it went such a long way.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody else have, I do have a comment. I'll just throw this in. What I think, working on Prop R, I think what is so incredible is, when I asked a couple of friends to help out, and they absolutely stepped up willingly and readily without any arm twisting, and And then, you know, they said, well, I went there. I graduated from that school. That school is near and dear to me. How can I help? It's this place touches everybody here. And it just literally takes a village, and what a fine village we have. And I just want to say how exciting it is. I think I too agree that, you know, the 60th birthday party has to be something super special. So I don't know, we need some major party planners on this one. So, but it's really exciting. So, but again, hats off to our voters, hats off to everybody that worked on the campaign, and hats off to everybody that works at the college, faculty, staff, professional, all of it. We cannot do this without everybody. So my heart is so filled with love. I'm so excited to be here. So that's all I've got. Does
I was just-
anybody? Yes.
Go ahead, Dr. Graham.
Well, I just want to piggyback off of our chair, Annie. You have expressed just how I feel. Just so wonderful. When I was at the wake for the Honorable Irby, and I met my state representative, a young lady. She was there. She was introduced to me by the mayor of Bonita Park, and we have become friends. She represents the 73rd district, which is my district in Berkeley. And she really helped to get the word out about Proposition R. And she's a young lady into her second term. And I just said, it made me remember what we used to teach the kids and Girl Scouts, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other is gold. And this Proposition R caused me to even make more friends, even though I know a whole lot of people. Now I'm making more, learning more about other people. And it's just wonderful. I think I'm just as excited about the new friends that I'm learning, that I'm meeting, and what they're doing. They have that fire in their belly like I have, and still I had when I was young, and still have now that I'm an older person. But it's just so wonderful. And I want to thank our chancellor and everybody else who worked hard. Whatever little bit or great bit that you did to pass this proposition, it was worth your effort, our efforts.
Thank you.
I guess I'd like to say that as long as we've been educators, we never think of New Year's as January 1st. You know, the beginning of the year is always the fall, always the end of August, beginning of September. The beginning of the year is when the academic year begins, not just the semester. And I want to take a minute and recognize LaRhonda Wilson, who is a full professor at Forest Valley in sociology, who gave a lecture to the community today. LaRhonda Wilson, she was inspiring. She encouraged us all to get in good trouble. She gave a professional, entertaining, informational speech, and there have been many fine Underwood Award winners and Underwood Award speeches, but she outdid herself today, and it's timely. And congratulations, LaRhonda. And finally, we're better this year than we were last year. We're better with COVID. We're better with Prop R. This board is exceptional. The work that Dr. Pittman does for the greater community is paying off. I think it's time for us to realize that we have come through some difficult times, and there'll be more ahead. But I am very proud to be on this board, and very proud of our professors who are first rate. And I just got a shout out to LaRhonda Wilson one more time. Congratulations.
I second that.
Ditto to everything Mary and Prop R, and won't reiterate that, but just thank the community for their support and all the work that everyone did at the college and non-college employees and people did to get the word out as well. And so I'll just say I appreciate Dr. Pittman and his leadership team taking feedback from Annie and I about doing something about vaccines. And I'm excited to make sure that we continue to get our community vaccinated and our employees vaccinated. And it's great that you were able to get on some news stories today to encourage our employees and students to get vaccinated, and that's great. And I look forward and encourage everyone out there, if you feel the need to get vaccinated to help the community greater all, and certainly look forward to our faculty, staff, and students masking up currently in all of our buildings to keep everyone healthy and safe, and look forward to having students back in our buildings. And so we have wonderful facilities, and we know that in-person learning is beneficial to many, many, many students. And we want to make sure we keep our community and region healthy and safe. And I appreciate the offer out there to vax back to school, and looking forward to that and how it all turns out. And certainly look forward to our discussion on the 23rd as we start the Prop R, after we officially pass a tax rate that would allow us to start collecting money for Prop R. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
And Chair, I'll just add a couple more details to the thank you. There are sort of four groups I think we ought to really thank for helping us with Prop R. Number one, and a couple of people have already said that, Dr. Pittman has done a wonderful job in his last 6 years of developing relationships with various businesses. And Mark Wrighton, who's, 24-year chancellor of WashU, is very involved in the business community, is on a lot of boards. And he was able to call those business people together, and they were the largest single funder of the actual campaign. But the money was important, but really the fact that they cared about our success was probably more important, and gives us an opportunity to extend and develop those partnerships and relationships. Number two, and I have to say, I learned a little about this in the whole process. The unions in this city love us and really want their members to think about how to use St. Louis Community College as a way to forward themselves as small business people. You become an electrician, but wouldn't it be better to work for yourself, or become a member of a firm and you move up a little bit? So, and we heard that as we went out. So they were the second largest funders of the college, of the campaign. The third group, and these were not quite equal, but pretty close, were just a lot of individuals. Just a whole bunch of people sent in $250, $500, $1,000. That actually ended up being more than $100,000 of our support. So we raised right at $600,000 to support the campaign. The fourth group I would recognize isn't around money, it's around that partnership. Our K-12 districts all stepped up. They sent information about Prop R out to their parents, to their staff. They were very helpful. Not so much that they could provide money, but they could provide the way to get to voters. And what that recognizes is that partnership we have with all those high schools that are sending kids to our dual enrollment programs. And that's only going to grow. We're really in the early stages of that process. So I'm excited. Look forward to the discussion on the 23rd. And I really thank all those people who contributed.
All right. Well, anybody have anything else? All right. Well, thank you. The comments were absolutely lovely and generous and absolutely accurate. So thank you so much. And a huge shout out again to LaRonda Wilson. Fantastic. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right. Craig, second?
Second.
Second. Thank you, Doris. All right. Any discussion? All right. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right. Motion passes. And thank you all. The meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, Annie.
Have a lovely
Thanks, Annie. Bye-bye.